Socrates, and this is Intro to Ancient Greece. I'm so happy you can join us today. You might be wondering, Socrates, what are you wearing? Where did you get that? So stylish. This is a toga, known from Rome, but we are studying Greece, not to be confused. Have you heard of me? I'm quite famous. Have you heard of the Socratic method? Well, that was named after me. I unfortunately have long since passed, but I am coming back as a ghost. For you, 8, 1, 2, and 4. Yes, you. I have come back to inform you of all my findings on ancient Greece. So let's get this party started. You might be wondering, you want to know a little bit about me? I'd want to know about me too. Socrates. I taught people how to think, how to figure out things by asking questions, by looking deeper. Sometimes people disagreed with me. Sometimes I disagreed with them. Ultimately, I didn't believe in the Greek gods. Zeus, Poseidon, this, bananas. No, none of that for me. Unfortunately, that's what ended my life. I was poisoned to death for my outright speakings of my disbelief in the Greek gods, which you will learn about later on, I promise. But what I want you to know about me is that I taught people how to think. Without me, you would not know how to think. So you are welcome. Now that you have my bio, I'm here to tell you about ancient Greece. Beautiful, beautiful civilization. Let's go back in time, and let's learn about some history. The Minoans were successful traders who lived on an island called Crete around 3000 to 1100 BCE. They had an elegant palace in the city of Kronos. The Minoan civilization declined when invaders from mainland Greece, probably the Mycenaeans, slipped my mind. It's been a long time since I've told this story. The Mycenaeans took over around 1400 BCE. The Mycenaeans lived principally on the mainland in the city of Mycenae. They used writing just as the Minoans had. They created a writing system actually called Linear B. It is the earliest form of Greek writing. Can you believe that? Believe it. No one has figured out the hundreds of symbols that the Minoan writing system developed. So maybe you can. Probably not. But that's okay. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me. Once again, if I was going to have one takeaway that you had from me, Socrates, it would be that I taught people how to think. So what do you think of getting to know me? Hello, I am Plato. Welcome to my TED Talk. I'm kidding. There's no such thing as TED Talks in ancient Greece. But I am back here to teach you about ancient Greece geography. I believe you just heard from my mentor, my teacher, Socrates. You might be wondering the same question that you had for Socrates. Where did you get that stylish toga, Plato? Rome, I'd say. Rome. My teacher, my mentor, Socrates, he gave me this toga as a token for my many successes in studying underneath of him. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Plato is what people call me. Not Play-Doh, Plato. I studied under Socrates. He was my mentor. He was my everything. I wrote the book, The Republic, and believe that society should be divided up into 3 main groups: workers, soldiers, and the philosophers. Those philosophers should be our rulers. I taught my students that they need to live by a code of ethics and that they would, if they lived by this code of ethics, they would have moral and happy lives. My code of ethics goes on and on, so I will spare you from that. But you heard from my mentor, Socrates, earlier. He felt that writing things down was beneath him. He thought everything he needs to know was up here. I disagree. Everything that I need to know is written down in my books. The more you read, the more you grow. That was not my quote, but it might as well could have been. So unlike Socrates, I wrote everything down about reality, objects, war, government, you name it, justice, society. I did it all. I even founded a school that taught and trained government leaders. It was called The Academy. Boom. Not The Academy, boom. It was The Academy, and then I was like, boom. Wasn't that a good name? So, you might be wondering, Plato, what are you going to teach us about today? And I would answer, Greece, the ancient Greece, geography. So, you've probably heard of many different civilizations. You've probably heard of Mesopotamia. You've heard of other ones, the Indus River Valley. Scratch everything you know about those because Greece is different. How are we different, you might be wondering? Because we are close to a sea. We are not close to a river. We are close to a sea. And our seas influenced our need for trade and independent city-states. Greece is on the continent of Europe and consists of many beautiful islands. I myself am biased. I think Greece is the most beautiful place in the world. You might be wondering, Plato, if Greece is surrounded by 3 seas, what are those 3 seas, you might ask? Well, they are the Mediterranean Sea, they are the Aegean Sea, and they are the Ionian Sea. Not only are we surrounded by these beautiful bodies of water, you can also see mountains spread throughout Greece. You might think mountains are good, but mountains could be bad. How can mountains be bad, you ask? They make it difficult to develop us as a whole unified country. How can we all be together when we are separated by seas, bodies of water, and mountains? And that is where I leave you on my journey. I appreciate you listening to me, Plato. I enjoy educating the youth. I love it. It is part of my passion. That's why I created the school. That is not still around today, but it should be. I'll leave my email below for you to reach out with any questions. Enjoy your learning of ancient Greece, and I hope you appreciate the beautiful civilization and country as much as I do. Poof, bam. Plato has disappeared and he has been replaced by me, myself, Aristotle. Now you might be wondering, who are you and what have you done with Plato? Well, have no fear, Plato and I are on good terms. He was, in fact, my teacher. So not only did I learn from Plato, I learned from Socrates too, because Plato learned from Socrates, and it went on and on. So you must know the answer as to where my toga came from by now. Huh? Where? Rome. Correct. You are right. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I told you my name's Aristotle. I studied under Plato. And like Plato, I believe that people's happiness was connected to their behavior. I worked to define categories of logic, biology, and physics. I was fascinated by nature. I classified plants and animals in scientific methods. That is the foundation of the methods used to this day. Can you believe that? That is how famous I am. I believe that there should be 3 forms of government: monarchy, aristocracy, and a sort of democracy, which we will get into a little later on. I also founded my own school, just like Plato. And believe it or not, I tutored the famous conqueror Alexander the Great. That is correct. An absolute legend who we will learn about later on. Not from me, from my colleague, Miss Gambino. Yes, that's right. I know her. She's pretty awesome. Yeah, I know, whatever. Anyways, you might be wondering, Aristotle, what are you here? We've already listened to Socrates. We've already listened to Plato. Ugh, we're done with you philosophers. But what I have to tell you is very important. After the early stages of the development of Greece came the Trojan War. I'm sure you've heard of it. Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Peabody and Sherman? I know you all have. How do I know? I don't. I got a source. I got a plug. Anyways, she let me know that you have seen that movie, and in fact, there is a scene where the Trojan horse enters. The Trojan War, which took place around 1194 BCE, marked the decline of the Greek civilization. It led to the beginning of the Dark Ages. It was not a good time in our history. Things were desperate. Poverty spread. There was no more large-scale training. And it was a sad time. But eventually, city-states come about, and we go into the Golden Age. By 700 BCE, we have Athens, we have Sparta, we have these city-states who are ruling powers of ancient Greece. And from there, I leave the teaching to you, my friends, because you will do this next step of learning on your own. It was a pleasure getting to know you, and I hope you always remember me, because I am important, very important. Aristotle, remember the name. But mind you, I want you to remember that the main part of Greece is a peninsula, which means that it is surrounded by water on 3 sides. The seas that surround Greece are the Mediterranean Sea, the Aegean Sea. Oh, shoot. No. You might be wondering, Plato, if Greece is surrounded by all of these seas, which seas are you referring to? Well, I'm talking about the Mediterranean Sea to the south, then the Aegean Sea, and then the Ionian Sea. Did I say those right? What happened to Plato, you might ask? He vanished, and I have replaced him. And my name is Aristotle, but you can call me Ari, Stottle, Toddle. Whatever works, whatever floats your boat. Aristotle. Once again, you might be wondering, how did I get here? Who am I? So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I studied under Plato. Plato was my teacher, my figurehead. That's going to be edited out. Shoot! I learned from Socrates too, because Plato learned from Socrates, and it went on and on. So you must know the answer as to where my toga came from by now. Huh? Where? Rome. Correct. You are right. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I told you my name's Aristotle. I studied under Plato. And like Plato, I believe that people's happiness was connected to their behavior. I worked to define categories of logic, biology, and physics. I was fascinated by nature. I classified plants and animals in scientific methods. That is the foundation of the methods used to this day. Can you believe that? That is how famous I am. I wrote about politics too. although my ideas were different than Plato's. I thought that there should be 3 good forms of government: monarchy, aristocracy.